What is up in the hood, my friends, my people? Can all hear Bulls on Wall Street. Guys, a weird freaking times in the market. Let's dig into the market indexes and then go into the watch list for tomorrow. It's a little bit slim pickings, but there's still plays going on. So number one, the market was down just 0.6% today, but it felt a lot nastier. What I mean by that is that we had a gap up in the market, and we just basically faded off the whole day. So the market actually had a quick spike up here, and then you can see we just fadey McGee all day. So we did end up basically flat on the day to slightly up. I would just call that a flat one. But, you know, the big hairy Indian butt is that it felt like a nasty down day. And the reason it felt like a nasty down day is that, you know, a lot of momentum stocks were shot today. You had Hood down, 3%. NBIS, right? Failed, kind of, it a failed move from yesterday. Oklo down 5%. RKLB, right? Been bleeding off for days. Coin been bleeding off for days. So all the momentum stocks that had been pushing higher are now fading off, right? Even though the indexes are holding up. And so what that tells me is that there's probably some nasty move in the indexes that are coming around the corner. Basically, the indices are being held up by, right, NVIDIA and, the QQQ and NVIDIA have the exact same chart, right, and AMD and some of these semiconductors, okay? Beyond that, everything's been fading off. Man, the pumps are fading, right? Like, all the old Pumpy Dumpies are fading. You're seeing moves like this, right? And like, that KSS pump was probably the tell, right? Usually something like that where you get pump pre-market and they just fade off. Like that's usually the tell that the things have been getting frothy. So there's been nowhere to hide minus AMD, right? And granted, I wasted a good chunk of my day trying to fucking time this thing. So going back to this, the markets are up. We have a couple dichotomies going. Number one, we're still in a big bull market. We're riding up the, 9 EMA, and we've been doing it for months. This is the longest I've seen in my career where the market has just grinded above its EMAs without any dip. There's a couple things that worry me. Number one, the ATR is basically down to nothing, but 0.8%, $4 ATR. Down here, the ATR was like 20 points, right? Which is rare, but like, you're still more in the 6 or 7, 8 points. You're at $4 now in ATR. So the volatility has contracted considerably as everything has just been grinding higher. So we could use a big pullback. Now, whether the index is showed or not, it doesn't really matter because all the momentum stocks where you make money has been showing that. And so we do have to take a slightly cautious view of things and say, you know what? I'm not going to do any chasing. I'm not going to do any oversizing because what happens where I typically will lose most of the money is when the market starts to shift and things start to distribute, but I'm trading it like it's the beginning of the trend where, you're chasing, you're oversizing, you might do a little average downing and it all works out. But if you use those same tools and tactics, those bad habits that come towards the end of the bull, what will happen is you'll lose all the money that you made. And so you have to be very, very, very careful with that. So our plan for tomorrow, we got to be a little bit cautious. And just remember, like everything is, so many of these damn stocks are just bleeding out. Like my whole fucking watch list of, right, like hot momentum names from a couple weeks ago. Look at this SBUX down fucking 7 days in a row, right? Like, failed breakouts and, all these kind of names, right? ASTS getting rugged. And look, these are weird looking patterns now. So you got to just be careful, all right? We could use a big pullback in the QQQs, a couple days. A pullback to 20 would be awesome. Pullback to 50 would be gangbusters, right? Because that would take us back down into this. We never get what we want, but it's around the corner. You don't know when. Tomorrow, 2 weeks from now, a week from now. but there's some cracks in the facade of the market, so we just have to be careful and also be ready to short. We did some shorts in NVIDIA in AMD today, and nothing crazy, right? Nothing crazy, but got a good rip on some of these, and I thought, once again, it's not like some huge gangbusters money, right? But I think we did the 177 puts on these. They did pretty fucking good. They did pretty fucking good. But I took a loss on it the first time, right? Like trying to time this thing. I took a 20% loss on the puts to, nail the big one later. So that's the way it goes on these things. Let's look at the watch list, and let's just be a little bit mindful that there are still some things we can do. So number one, I made a slight mistake today because I got real focused on a couple of these names. But we talked about in yesterday's video. When the market is shaky, I want you to focus in on what? Earnings plays, right? Earnings plays, PR plays, things with catalysts. Those are the things that are going to have an independent order flow to whatever's happening in the market. So you had something real boring like GLW today, right? Opens up out of the gate, right? Big trend on it. That's all you need, right? CLS, right? Opens up. Let me add the pre-market data here real quick, right? Dips down here into 184 and then fucking, right? $24 machine boner. Can't beat that, right? You had all these kind of stocks that were doing that. So why focus so much always on, right? Just like what Tesla's doing and NVIDIA's doing. It's earnings season. This is our time to shine and find the new fresh heaters, right? The new RKLBs and the new ASTSs and, the new circles and so on and so forth. So just something to be a little bit mindful of as we kind of go through this. Now, let's dig in. Let's dig into the watch list and see what we got going on. So for tomorrow, right, this LC, this is Linden Club. You have a breakout that's in the works here, taking out all this range. It's got a good little momentum on this. The float's only 97 million, 1.5 billion market cap. Like, those are the kind of names that can really get booting and scooting. Let's add this one to the watch list. Let's add this CLS for a day two play. This is a big time breakout on this big trend. 14 million shares in volume. I think this could be a day two. Hey, Cyber had some news out that PanW may be interested in purchasing it. Whether that's something or not, I think this is going to be in play. Just something to keep in the back corner. Doesn't have to be like your number one or anything like that, but keep that into your back corner. Rambus. Dude, I had this on my fucking watch list. I didn't take even one trade on it. I hate when I do that, right? I'm a victim of this too. You get so stuck trading some of these, other names. And we missed the easy ones, right? Like, this was the easy one. You had a breakout here. It's an easy setup, range break, over 70. It's a close your eyes and play around with the balls in the middle of the night setup. That's nice. AMD. Dude, I was a little bit early on the first short. Nailed the second one pretty damn good. I was about to try it again, but I knew better. Like, usually these momentum stocks, once they kind of do a higher low, they rip it back a little bit. This fucking thing's tricky, but if it gaps up again, I'll try it again. If it gaps up maybe into 182, but ideally a gap up over that would be, it would be tremendous, right? It's at the top of the Bollinger Band. It is up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Biggest volume day in a while, too. I'll give it one more blowout. It's not a blowout yet, so it's an overbought setup, but it's not a parabolic setup, right? Like, it's, so that's where you got to always kind of be careful. Starbucks had a range break. Starbucks had a range break. 98 bucks. It's a little bit of a thicker stock. So you're going to have to, if we do it, it's got to be pretty much on the opening drive of it. If you try to do flag breakouts or something on it, it's probably not going to work. HIMS, let's see if it's getting ready to break out into its earnings. The dips on this thing are getting bought. Like, it got rugged a little bit at the open, came down to the previous day's low, and then just came right back. It's just got a great range, great liquidity. it does have, it's getting a little wicky. There's a lot of shorts in this. Everybody's positioning themselves. It's got a setup on it, though. Coin down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. Big gap down on this tomorrow. I think I try to bounce this. Maybe you'll get some buyers in before the earnings come out. This one's also just kind of holding along here in the 20 SMA. May need a little bit of deeper tap back, but let's see what's up. And then, look, if we need some shorts, I think, you know, these semis are kind of right there. AVGL is a little bit, I wouldn't say thin, but it tends to be a little bit more spready. I think AMD is probably a little bit easier. You know, you could even do maybe something a little bit different, but I think you just stick with a couple of these and see, like, what's up, all right? Beyond that, like, you know, any pops in something like, you know, Circle bleeds off pretty much every fucking day. So any big pops in this, like, usually you get the bleed off on this. You got to, you know, level here at 183. My worry is that it's down, you know, 7 out of 8 days in a row. So probably could use an inside day or two, but it seems to like spike up and then fade off, so that does kind of relieve some of the tension. So watch and see if it gaps up, and then, you know, we may try to fade this thing again. It's been a great trader for us, awesome trader for us. So let's keep an eye on that one too. May need an inside day, but let's see what's up, guys. Slim pickings. I give this watch list a B-, right? So this is not the time to go gangbusters. There's times I make the watch list and it's like grade A, all in. Today's the day we just put our balls on the kitchen table while speed chopping carrots. But this is not that day. So we're going to take our shots when we see them, be selective, and we just scalp our way and make some bucks, and then we bail. Peace. I love you guys.